Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I was just sitting here thinking, you know, the events that happened on January 6th were fairly unfortunate, and I know everybody is on the I condemn that and condemn this, so I'm not going to repeat that, but that was just very unfortunate. However, of course, we had more incitement for the country throughout the summer months, whether it's right or wrong or whatever side you're on. Things happen, and we have to try to progress past that. So right now, the capital area is on lockdown. And I was also thinking like, hey, we kind of do that too in our own homes. I mean, you got an enclosed structure with the doors and windows that have locks and bolts and stuff like that. And you also put security alarms around your stuff. Same thing with your vehicles. So if we go that far to protect our personal stuff, would you think we want to do that at the border? I mean, I would. I'm all for legalized immigration, but to say that we should have open borders is a huge mistake. Like I said before, I was in the military, so um, I mean, to my knowledge, I don't see any countries that I've been to, or just off the top of my head, that would allow you just to walk into that country without having a passport. And they're definitely not going to let you just stay there without becoming a citizen. So why would we want that? I mean, I'm definitely against, and I repeat that, I'm definitely against illegal immigration. But legal immigration, sure, why not? I mean, if you do the proper things to get here, I mean, and so leading to the United States, I don't see why you can't become a citizen, and I would welcome you with open arms. So I don't see a need for um, illegal immigration. I mean, because nobody can give us definite numbers, and we don't know who's who, where they actually coming from. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure you've seen on your televisions that there are a lot of people that's trying to rush the border, and there's also places that we had the border wall going up that have been stopped. So, and if you notice, a lot of the media won't give you that, the real stuff that's going on. Um, And I'm not saying that it's not out there because you can find it if you search for it, but they don't play up to it as much as they would if, let's say, a previous president would have done something that, the media didn't like. So I don't know if they coloring this one a little bit or we just don't have all the facts, which it could be both. Well, it could be neither. Could be a combination of. I mean, so we just gotta look at it that way. But it's unfortunate because you would think that we would have our best interests first before we look elsewhere, because I'm pretty sure if your child and somebody else's child was on fire, you putting your child out first before you put that other person's child out. I mean, that's just common sense. The same thing when you're out in the airplane, you start losing altitude or something like that, and those oxygen masks fall down. They even instruct you to put your mask on first. So there's just self-preservation. So we have to protect the country first, and then help out others. That's why I'm kind of disappointed with this next stimulus check, but I'll talk about that at a later date because I don't want to get off track. Um, Now I found a clip on, I believe it's on CNBC, so I want to give them credit, and this is definitely fair use. So like any of my other videos, definitely not claiming anything that's not mine. But CNBC, and I found it on YouTube, and it was about the border crisis. So and it's not that long; it's only a minute and 33 seconds. So hopefully this will be a shorter video than last. I know people don't like to go over more than 10 or 12 minutes, not unless they're super engaged. And I get that, and I appreciate the fact that, I have the subscribers that I have already. My goal is to get 100 subscribers as fast as we can, because this is a we channel, not just me. And, please get that likes up. So please, like I said, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, make sure you hit all so you get all my content. and look at the links in my description box, and support the channel and support my other ventures that I have going on. And you can see the tabs on the video, I believe now, to excuse me, to my Instagram and to my TikTok. I know, right? TikTok. But yeah, I'm on there. Um, so here we go. We'll start playing the video. Let's listen up.
The governor is pointing the finger at President Biden today, criticizing him as being completely unprepared for what's going on at the border. Abbott met with U.S. Border Patrol agents, Texas Department of Public Safety.
Now, the governor he's talking about is Texas Governor Greg Abbott. I'm sorry, I should have said that a little earlier, but yes, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who's I think he might be a Republican, is blaming President Biden for the border crisis, and that's actually on a lot of people's mind right now, and that's coming on both sides of the aisle actually. So it's not just being a partisan issue; it's actually a bipartisan issue for some people, and they're wondering why the president won't even acknowledge it. That is a crisis. They just say that as an inconvenience basically, but it's not a crisis. But if, like I say, but previous administrations would do this. You hear all kind of stuff. And I'm not just saying Democrat or Republican. I'm just saying for some reason that I guess because of the president we had before, and they want to try to turn a different, I guess, going on a different avenue, I guess. But they don't give that same vitriol they had for the prior president. But here we go.
Officials and Texas National Guard before providing an update on the security efforts along the southern border. He also took part in an aerial tour of the area known as El Rincon, which is a hotspot for illegal immigration. During his news conference today, Abbott cited the spike in illegal apprehensions, which have increased significantly in the last few weeks. His visit is part of Operation Lone Star, an effort to target human and drug smuggling along the U.S. and Texas-Mexico border.
And see, that's another thing too. People don't realize that it's just not the simple fact that it's just illegal immigrants. I mean, there's drugs coming in. There's human trafficking going on. Some of these kids coming up to the border aren't even with their actual parents. A lot of them are actually coming unaccompanied, which simply means that once they finally kind of get closer, they kind of break off or whatever the guy that they may, their family back then might have been pressured into doing, like those cartels, or, excuse me, they could have paid them, simply paid them to get their kids over because they knew that our immigration standards are being relaxed. So those kids might be a few, I don't know, let's say a few, 100 miles away or even a little closer, and then they just point them in a direction and tell them to keep walking, and that's what these kids are doing. Or they're coming up with families because they don't want to separate families either. Excuse me, I'm so tired. Sorry about that. Excuse me. But so these kids are coming either accompanied or unaccompanied because it's kind of like, I mean, they kind of have it easier both ways because if they're accompanied, they're only going to separate them, but they won't, send them back. Or at least that's not what they're saying because some of those facilities are being filled up. Those same cages that they claim the previous administration was using, which actually was built by the previous administration before that. So go figure. Who also helped this current president. So we'll just say that. But but unaccompanied minors, they also house them too, obviously, because they don't know where to release them at. So these kids are actually, being able to stay here, and some of these are getting trial dates that they're supposed to return to and getting pushed off here in the United States already. And 9 times out of 10, they're not coming back. And they claim the COVID numbers are going up with that too, so let's keep an eye out on that.
Sending a powerful message today.
If you dare step into the state of Texas, Texas will use every tool and strategy we can to arrest anybody who's violating the law, to put behind the bars anybody who's violating the law.
And those are strong words from the governor because, he wants to protect the state of Texas, especially at the border. I mean, come on now. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, you have to look at the people in your state first, as part of the union. And it's like, it kind of baffles my mind that, they're just letting these kids flood through, and some adults and some drugs and whatever coming through the border. And then you got some, it just, to me, it's kind of like they're just tone deaf. It's like they don't see it. They got blinders on. It's kind of like when you have that horse with the blinders, they can only see straight forward. They can't see side to side. because you don't want to get them spooked or whatever the case may be. So they just run off. And that's kind of what's going on here. Back to the video.
Border Patrol agents have made over 108,000 apprehensions along the Rio Grande Valley sector this year alone, including unaccompanied minors and family units. Abbott says agents are overwhelmed, and smugglers see this as an opportunity to bring large groups of people and drugs into the United States. Now, DPS has assigned 500 troopers to provide tactical assistance to U.S. Border Patrol. Meanwhile, Governor Abbott plans to deploy an additional 500 troops to high threat areas along the Rio Grande Valley. Shep.
And see, that's kind of a shame because they have to reach out for help, and then they have to activate, National Guard and stuff like that to do this when it's not their main job or main function. Excuse me again, I'm so sorry, but their main job or function. So you have to think about it. It's like they're already shorthanded. You stop the border wall. Like I said, whether you like it or not, we was already financing and had it going on. You slice a lot of jobs in that area. A lot of people will have to lose their jobs, and then you expect states to hold up, state and federal laws better than the federal government. That don't make any sense. And that was pretty much the end of that video. So, like I said again, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking household first, then neighbors, then the whole neighborhood, then the streets, then your city, and things of that nature. And I think that's how the United States need to look at it. Is first U.S. first before we reach out, because a lot of these countries don't like us at all. And I got a lot of experience with that. Like I said, I was in the military, so there's a lot of places where you think, like the United States, they only like, that our way of life is a little more, relaxing than their country of origin, but they don't like us as a whole. So let's just think about it, okay? Well, that'll wrap up the video. Like I said, I didn't want to go too long, but get in the comments, like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit that notification bell, and and support my channel. Let's grow. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers very fast, and then move on forward. And you can support the channel. There's links in the description box of my Instagram and to my TikTok. And I'll see you later. Have a good night.